The U.S. dollar opened Wednesday's trading session in Iraq on a stronger note, with activity in both Baghdad and Erbil showing a slight increase in the value of the U.S. currency in the parallel market. According to the latest market survey published by Shafaq News, the dollar traded at 150,300 Iraqi dinars per 100 U.S. dollars in Baghdad's Al-Kifa and Al-Harithia exchanges. This represents an increase from Tuesday's level of 149,900 dinars per $100, indicating that the U.S. dollar gained approximately 400 dinars per $100 in just one trading session. While this movement may appear relatively small on the surface, it provides important insight into the short-term direction of Iraq's currency market and the ongoing balance between supply and demand for foreign exchange. Today's trading figures are drawing attention from businesses, importers, investors, and everyday Iraqi citizens because fluctuations in the parallel market often influence commercial transactions throughout the country. Many imported goods are purchased using U.S. dollars, and even modest changes in the exchange rate can affect wholesale costs, retail prices, and business planning. Although today's increase is not unusually large by historical standards, it is another reminder that Iraq's parallel currency market continues to respond to daily economic conditions and market sentiment. Looking more closely at Baghdad's exchange market, the dollar was being sold at exchange shops for 150,750 dinars per $100, while buyers could sell their dollars to exchange shops at 149,750 dinars per $100. The difference between the buying and selling rates represents the normal spread that exchange businesses use to cover operating costs and market risks. These spreads are common in currency markets around the world and can widen or narrow depending on trading activity, liquidity, and expectations regarding future exchange rate movements. Meanwhile, in Erbil, the capital of the Kurdistan region, currency exchange shops quoted selling prices at 150,350 dinars per $100, while buying prices stood at 150,250 dinars per $100. Compared with Baghdad, Erbil's rates remained relatively close, showing that both major Iraqi markets continue to trade within a similar range despite regional differences in commercial activity and local demand for foreign currency. One of the first questions many people ask when they see a stronger U.S. dollar is what caused the increase. In reality, there is rarely a single reason behind daily movements in Iraq's parallel market. Exchange rates are influenced by a combination of factors, including market liquidity, seasonal demand, import payments, banking operations, investor confidence, and expectations regarding future economic developments. On some days, increased demand from importers purchasing goods from overseas may place upward pressure on the dollar. On other days, limited availability of physical cash dollars in the local market can temporarily strengthen the currency against the Iraqi Dinar. It is also important to understand that today's figures reflect the parallel market rather than Iraq's official exchange rate. The official exchange rate established by the Central Bank of Iraq remains separate from the market rates reported by exchange companies. The central bank uses its official rate for government transactions and many banking operations, while the parallel market reflects prices determined through everyday buying and selling activity between exchange companies, businesses, and individuals. This distinction is extremely important because confusion sometimes arises whenever people see headlines reporting changes in market exchange rates. A movement in the parallel market does not automatically mean that Iraq has officially changed its national exchange rate. As of today, there has been no official announcement from the Iraqi government or the Central Bank of Iraq regarding any revaluation, reinstatement, or adjustment of the official Iraqi dinar exchange rate. The official policy remains unchanged, and today's figures relate solely to activity in the market, where currencies are bought and sold outside the official banking mechanism. For businesses that rely heavily on imported products, today's increase in the dollar may have practical consequences. Companies importing electronics, automobiles, machinery, pharmaceuticals, construction materials, food products, and consumer goods often calculate costs based on prevailing dollar exchange rates. When the dollar strengthens in the parallel market, import costs can increase, potentially leading to higher prices for consumers if businesses decide to pass those costs along. Consumers may not notice immediate changes after a single trading session, but continued upward movements over several days or weeks could eventually influence retail prices. This is particularly relevant in an economy where many products available in local markets originate from foreign suppliers and require payment in US dollars. For currency traders and exchange companies, daily fluctuations such as today's movement are a normal part of market activity. Professional traders monitor exchange rates throughout the trading day, watching for signs of increasing demand or improving supply. Small gains or losses often reflect routine adjustments, rather than major structural changes within the Iraqi economy. Financial analysts frequently caution against interpreting one day's movement as evidence of a long-term trend. Exchange markets can reverse direction quickly depending on new economic developments, government decisions, banking activity, or changing market sentiment. A stronger dollar today does not necessarily guarantee further increases tomorrow, just as a weaker dollar on another day would not automatically signal a prolonged decline. Another factor influencing Iraq's currency market is the ongoing effort by the Central Bank of Iraq to modernize the country's financial system. In recent years, Iraqi authorities have implemented reforms aimed at improving transparency, strengthening banking compliance, increasing electronic payment systems, and enhancing oversight of foreign currency transactions. These reforms are designed to improve confidence in Iraq's financial sector while reducing opportunities for illicit currency trading. Although such reforms may influence market conditions over time, daily fluctuations continue to occur as participants respond to immediate supply and demand conditions. Short-term market movements, therefore, should not be viewed in isolation from broader economic trends. International economic conditions can also play a role in shaping Iraq's currency market. Changes in global oil prices, U.S. monetary policy, international investment flows, regional geopolitical developments, and worldwide demand for the U.S. dollar all have the potential to influence local currency trading. Iraq's economy remains heavily dependent on oil exports, meaning government revenues are closely linked to developments in international energy markets. When oil prices remain relatively strong, Iraq generally receives greater foreign currency earnings through crude oil exports. Over time, stronger export revenues can contribute to improved foreign currency reserves, although the relationship between oil income and parallel market exchange rates is influenced by numerous additional economic factors. The U.S. dollar continues to play a central role in Iraq's economy because it serves as the primary currency for many international commercial transactions. Businesses importing products from abroad typically require dollars to complete payments with overseas suppliers. As a result, fluctuations in dollar demand naturally influence market prices throughout the country. Today's figures also demonstrate that the difference between Baghdad and Erbil remains relatively limited. While regional markets occasionally display slight pricing variations due to local supply and demand conditions, the overall exchange environment continues to show considerable consistency between Iraq's major commercial centers. Individuals planning to exchange currency today may notice that actual rates offered by local exchange companies vary slightly, depending on location, transaction size, and market conditions at the time of exchange. Exchange shops often adjust prices throughout the trading day in response to market developments, meaning quoted rates may change as buying and selling activity evolves. Market participants also pay close attention to reports from reputable financial news organizations because accurate information helps reduce uncertainty. Daily exchange rate surveys provide valuable transparency by allowing businesses and consumers to monitor market trends and compare current prices with previous trading sessions. Some observers may wonder whether today's stronger dollar signals a significant economic shift. At this stage, there is no indication that the modest increase reflects a fundamental change in Iraq's economic outlook. Daily currency fluctuations are common in financial markets, and exchange rates frequently move higher or lower in response to routine commercial activity. Another important point worth emphasizing is that online discussions about the Iraqi dinar often include speculation regarding possible future exchange rate changes. Various commentators and internet personalities sometimes suggest that movements in the parallel market indicate an imminent revaluation or reinstatement of the Iraqi dinar. However, these claims remain speculative unless supported by official announcements from Iraqi authorities. As of today, neither the Central Bank of Iraq nor the Iraqi government has announced any official revaluation, reinstatement, or modification of the country's official exchange rate policy. Therefore, viewers should distinguish carefully between verified market data and unconfirmed speculation circulating online. Responsible financial reporting requires separating confirmed facts from opinions or predictions. The confirmed facts available today are straightforward. According to Shafaq News Market Survey, the dollar traded at 150,300 dinars per $100 in Baghdad's main exchanges, compared with 149,900 dinars during Tuesday's trading. Exchange shops in Baghdad quoted selling prices at 150,750 dinars and buying prices at 149,150 dinars. In Erbil, selling prices reached 150,350 dinars, while buying prices stood at 150,250 dinars. These are the verified market figures reported for today's opening session. Looking ahead, traders will continue monitoring whether the dollar maintains its current strength or whether market conditions shift later in the day. Currency markets often experience multiple adjustments during normal trading hours, as buyers and sellers respond to changing conditions. Afternoon trading occasionally produces different results from the morning opening, making continuous monitoring important for businesses and financial professionals. Economic observers will also be watching future reports from the Central Bank of Iraq regarding banking reforms, foreign currency sales, electronic payment initiatives, and broader financial modernization efforts. These longer-term developments may gradually influence market confidence and improve efficiency within Iraq's financial system. For ordinary citizens, the most practical takeaway is that today's market reflects a modest strengthening of the US dollar in the parallel exchange market compared with the previous trading session. While this change may influence certain commercial transactions, it does not represent an official adjustment to Iraq's national exchange rate policy. Investors and businesses should continue relying on official announcements from the Central Bank of Iraq and other recognized government institutions when evaluating major policy changes. Market rumors and social media speculation should always be verified against credible official sources before being treated as factual information. Overall, Wednesday's opening trading session presents a picture of a stable but slightly stronger US dollar within Iraq's parallel currency market. Baghdad's major exchanges recorded trading at 150,300 dinars per $100, reflecting a moderate increase from Tuesday's level of 149,900 dinars. Exchange shops in Baghdad quoted selling prices of 150,750 dinars and buying prices of 149,750 dinars, while Erbil reported selling prices of 150,350 dinars and buying prices of 150,250 dinars. As trading continues throughout the day, market participants will be watching closely to see whether these levels hold, strengthen further, or ease as additional buying and selling activity enters the market. Regardless of short-term fluctuations, today's reported figures provide another snapshot of Iraq's active parallel foreign exchange market and the continuing interaction between supply, demand, and broader economic conditions. Finally, it is worth repeating the most important clarification for viewers following Iraqi dinar news. The exchange rates discussed throughout this report refer exclusively to the parallel market where currencies are traded between exchange businesses and customers. These figures should not be interpreted as evidence of an official Iraqi dinar revaluation or reinstatement. As of today, no official change has been announced by the Central Bank of Iraq or the Iraqi government regarding the official value of the Iraqi dinar. Any future changes to official monetary policy would require formal confirmation from the appropriate Iraqi authorities, and until such an announcement is made, Reports of an official RV or exchange rate adjustment remain unconfirmed speculation rather than established fact.